Hello, my friends. I am so excited to start working on my first layout for the Not Just for Boys Kit Club. And I am on I'll call myself on the theme team, but I do scrapbook with the theme kits. And this month I get to scrapbook with Snips and Snails and Puppy Dog Tails, which is one of the 2 April 2020 theme kits. So look at how adorable this cut file is. It is Snips and Snails and Puppy Dog Tails. And it came with this piece of nice medium weight cardstock. And I love the color. Part of the reason I love the color is it happens to be the same russet color that is on my youngest dog. So I do know I want to use some of this. You saw the photo I'm going to use. I have my cardstock, and I love this deep chocolate tone on tone brown piece here. It's called Molasses Dot by Echo Park from the Dots and Stripes collection. There's also this white, but I think that the white in my cut file won't show up as well as if if I did not use the tone on tone. Now in my kit reveal video, I showed you that I loved this piece and I love this piece. So I'm going to keep my eye on those two pieces as well. I just feel them. I think that they are gorgeous. I love the circular piece, and the polka dot with polka dot might work. These browns are slightly different, but that's fine because they're the same saturation. So that is awesome. And the same thing with this deep orange. It's a different saturation, it's a different tone of orange, but it has the same depth of saturation. So I really, really like that. And the photo I'm going to use this is Mason. A lot of people on my channel know him. And one of my daughters took a picture of him out in the yard yesterday. My son was washing his truck. You can see a tiny bit of his truck right there. He was washing his truck outside. It was actually gorgeous and sunny and all that kind of thing. And they were hanging out together having some guy time. Now, our kit came with a ton of gorgeous frames, and look at how well this one fits right there with the picture of Mason. So this idea is going on, and that's awesome. Now, the other thing to tell you is that I am one of the contributors to Christy's Beautiful Life 30 Days of Sketches that she is doing this month, and this is day 7. And this is the sketch I'll be working from. Now, it'll be a little tricky because I have a cut file that I'll be putting down kind of where it reads the word title. But I'm the boss of my sketch, and I will make it work for me. And while I am creating, I'll go ahead and put the cut file right about here, at least in the beginning, so you can see where I'm going with it and if it makes sense to you. So that's what I can tell you so far. Oh, also about this sketch, look at how cool. We have some really nice splatty bits here, which means with me, I would probably go ahead and recreate them here as well. They have stitching across the title. I don't know if I will be doing that because I really want you to be able to see the cut file well, but I don't even know what I'm doing in the cut file. I just know what I want to use, and then I'll bring you along with me for the rest of the party. I'm going to put my iPad up here so I can see my sketch, get crafting, and I'll speed up the next part and voice over, and we'll see where this ends up going. I have no idea. All right, here we go, friends. Now, one of the things I like best about working, see, it's flopping, working with a cut file is it really greatly kind of dictates how your layout's going to go. Now, I did back the open spaces of my cut file with that rust color of cardstock, and I fussy cut out that giant label area, and then I used a 2-inch punch and punched out Stay Curious. Those were the things I really knew I wanted to use, and I did go ahead and also pop my photo, attached it to the chipboard frame. So now the rest, I mean, seriously, that is the base of my layout. So now the rest I get to do is the really fun decorative bits. I'm cutting these 2 small strips, which just had a bunch of icons, but I really like the colors to put on the top and the bottom of my layout, like you see in the sketch. I'm trying to work with the sketch while using the products that I want to use. So I have the photo going in the approximate place. That giant label area, that, the orange piece, that is taking the part of my second photo. And now I'm seeing what other little pieces I want to put down here. My title is massive compared to one in the sketch, and that's perfectly fine. I put that big rig on the left side of that orange piece that I fussy cut because my dog was sitting out with my son when he was cleaning his truck. My son drives a Ram 1500, so it's a larger truck. Now I liked this aqua tone. I wanted to bring in some of that since it is kind of a strong color that is in those little strips that I cut. So I'm going to be able to bring that in and have just a little bit more color while I'm kind of mimicking that big photo block in the sketch. And now I get to audition all these pieces. I had to include this little die cut piece I had. There is an English bulldog sitting in a cute little plane, and I thought that just had to be used. I also chose two of the flare that were included in this kit, and all of my pieces are approximately where they will be when I complete this layout. I want to go ahead and get the bits down that I am happy with. I'm going to go ahead and attach all of those pieces down, and then I get to just do kind of like the little fun decorative bits at the end, which I believe are my very favorite part of scrapbooking anyway. Once I know the direction I'm going in, yeah, I get the pieces down. It's usually, if I'm using a sketch, let me get all my placements down. Some kind of title. This time it's a giant cut file. And then I get to just start going a little crazy with the decorative bits at the end. I'm using all kinds of different adhesives right now because I'm in a quest to use them all up. So you're going to see all kinds of, mismatched ones and ones that have just a little bit of tape left in them. But I'm determined to get rid of the extra clutter in my craft room. I did go ahead and matte my photo that was in the frame. I went ahead and also used that rust color cardstock to go ahead and matte on the outside of the frame. I like the dual texture of that. It also highlights a little bit of my doggo's color of his fur. You see mostly white, but he is white and red. I think they're called fawn and white, but he's white and red. And you see that he is happy as a clam with his tongue hanging out. It was just blazing hot at 50 degrees that day. So he was acting 50 degrees Fahrenheit. He was acting like it was the hottest day ever. But that's how they are when spring finally hits here. Now I'm trying to get this title kind of evenish. It's all one piece, which is awesome, but it does let you have a certain amount of movement with it. And, I kept thinking, do I want to color it? What do I want to do? But I like the dramatic white against this chocolate brown background. Now, this brown circular piece that reads, "Stay curious." I popped it up on a little fun foam, but then I did also end up going ahead and inking around the edges. Because I had brown ink just sitting on my desk, like already on the dauber. But the reason why is when I go ahead and put it up on my page, you really see that the white core really strong on it. So I'm not trying to get it where the ink necessarily shows. I was just trying to get rid of the white core on it because I did not ink in the rest of the goodies on this project. I do put that big rig on, and I just use a little bit of my roller adhesive. And then that navy word that says hello, I pop up on a little fun foam and use it to pretty much get rid of the dead space. Oh, actually, I didn't pop it on foam. I put it under the truck. And I used it to get rid of the dead space in that frame. So that frame is giving me a lot of color, but I did not want kind of that like open space. Now the rest of that orangey frame, I'm going to go ahead and use that for my journaling spot, which pretty much just says my two boys. Well, I have two boy dogs. My son and dog were just hanging out on a nice day, and we all can use some beautiful, nice, warm days outside right now, I would think. So I did use that word yes, which is the perfect color match on this layout, and it's giving me that nice, shiny kind of textural thing that you get with flare. And I put the other flare down to the bottom right of my photo. I did go ahead and used a roller date stamp to kind of messy stamp in a couple different places on this layout. I like the smudgy ink, and I do like to use kind of a darker charcoal color of StazOn when I, for the most part, when I use my roller date. And the next thing to do, I'm going through seeing if there's any other little bits and pieces I might want to use from a previous kit. I love that heart. So this is this bin I have with all kinds of goodies from last month's kits. And I mean, look at what a great color match this little Heidi Swap like sticker washi thing is. I messed up a little bit with my stamping there, so I thought I would cover it if you wonder what I have there, but you do still see some of the messy stamping, and I like that. And I also put some down below that same color of faux washi. Now this little sticker piece is more of a creamy aqua, so I like the tone on tone or the monochromatic colors together, but they definitely have a different saturation, and one is more of a turquoise and one is more of an aqua. So that is one of those little awesome things that can happen with these different products, even though they're from the same sticker collection. I'm going to use my little mini glue dots to stick on some of these white sequins. They're a nice bright white pop, and they're also a little bit larger for sequins. We received this set of, there's 60 enamel dots in here, which is awesome. This set of enamel dots, and I'm going to go ahead and sprinkle around some of these nice colors. I like the fact that they're so saturated in color. I'm not super hip to pastels. I'll use them, but I do like a nice deep saturated color. I figure you might as well go for it if you're a color. So I'm going to go ahead and sprinkle them around and let them draw your eye around the page. I'm going to use a slightly heavy hand with this Jen Hadfield gold, it's not called Gold Mist, is it called Gold Shimmer Spray? That I picked up a la carte previously in the store, and I love it. And it's doing just enough on that white title that it's going to make it that much more interesting. So, and it's not quite as thick as like a Heidi Swap Color Shine. You have a little bit more of a watery texture. So I love it. I think it's going to come out great. All right, so there is a close-up of this layout. My mist is still drying, but I love it. I think it pulled the entire thing together and made it ever so awesome. So that is it for today. I will be back ever so soon with another layout, and I'll go ahead and leave links below to where you can check out these kits. All right, take care, friends. Thanks so much for watching.